Source: Love Flops. Welcome back to AniDaily Recaps. Like and subscribe so you never miss our quality uploads. In his dreams, Asahi saw a mysterious girl and chases her only to wake up from his dream. While having his breakfast, Asahi watches the fortune teller's show on TV. The fortune teller says this future is for those born on October 8, which happens to be Asahi's birthday. The teller says 6 words: corner, train, staircase, cleaning robot, dog, and letter. Asahi thought it was fake. Loverin, his AI robot, told him to hurry up for school. On his way, he watches time and finds out it was still early. Then he run into a girl in a corner. She apologized and ran away out of embarrassment. Asahi picked up the panties which Aoi dropped and it was wrapped. He did not open it and thought it was a handkerchief. He then rushes to the train station and aboard an empty train. A woman just came in and sit near him. He wonders if she chose the seat near him when the full train was empty. She was half asleep and started to lean against him, and when he tried to separate her from him, they fall down and he mistakenly groped her huge watermelons. But then out of reflex, she kicked him with an inhuman level of full speed and force, but she misses and bends the train's handle, scaring the shit out of MC. Though he luckily escaped from that situation while apologizing. He then came across some staircase and starts to remember the past events, but he shrugs it off as a coincidence. He goes down and a yellow-haired girl tripped over the stairs and fell over Asahi. When she notices she is over him and sees his bananas case and mistook it for a real rod, called him a pervert and hit him on the spot. Damn! And runs away from the scene, leaving behind knocked Asahi. On his way to school, he reached a garden. Then, a cleaning robot came to him and Asahi notices it has a bra with enlargement pads. Then, a red-haired loli came and accused him of controlling the eye and stealing her bra. Asahi denies this, but then, the robot caught her clothes and tried to take away her panties, which makes her cry. She called Asahi and asked him to stop the robot, but Asahi refutes this with reasoning. To avoid the situation, the girl ran away while Asahi goes on his way only to find a dog that is doing questionable stuff with a girl.
What the dog doing?
Wait, that's a girl, right? He asked MC to help him, but he decides to ignore it. The dog then notices MC and attacks him. He got unconscious, and after waking up, some kindergarten kids were poking his face. He looks at the time and quickly rushed over to the academy as he is late. He sneaks into his class only to find seats have changed and the 5 persons he met so far are in his class. This made him awkward to see them head on. The 4 of them were transfer students from different countries. The homeroom teacher notices Asahi and calls him out. Asahi was left with no choice but to face straight and got forced to make a weird face using Sneak 100. At first, the girls didn't notice him, but soon, the girls remembered him and got embarrassed. They all slapped him in the face. On break, Yoshio became curious about Asahi's situation. During PE class, Yoshio explains the traits of the 5 girls and asked whether one of them is his type. Asahi is afraid to talk about it, since he thought they might hate him. So Yoshio advised him to clear up the misunderstandings. Asahi then goes to his locker and finds a letter from someone about meeting up near the cherry tree. On his way, he came across Aoi again but didn't bump into each other this time. She asks him whether he has something from the time they first met. Asahi, realizing, searches his pocket and brings out the bra, which he picked up the time he met Amelia. Why would you even keep it on your pants? Embarrassed by this, she slapped him. In the cafeteria, he met Marina, who gave him the banana since the food machine was out of food. This cleared up the misunderstanding, and she thanked him heartily. He then takes a vending machine in the campus area and notices Ilya getting chased by the same dog as before. He rushes over to Asahi and asks for his help, but the dog then bit him instead of the boy girl, and it deeply traumatizes him. She deeply thanked him while MC asked him or her to be more careful. Holding his left hand that was bitten by the dogs, he goes to his class. His homeroom teacher, Mongfa, notices and took him to the infirmary. She gave him proper treatment. Mongfa asks what she needs, but Amelia says she can manage it on her own, and so she leaves the room. Amelia asks MC for adhesive bandages. Asahi decides to lend her his help and Amelia says she is chafing around her chest. Realizing what she meant, Asahi returned the bra while Amelia lashed him by calling him a pervert. But Asahi denies it and talks it out. She understands and thanked him. Yoshio asks Asahi whether he cleared the misunderstandings or not, and Asahi tells him he did, but one got worse. He then sees a letter under his desk. He then goes to return the panties while Aoi confesses her love for him, which surprised him. Although he is not against it, he shares that each one has their own pleasures and predilections. This makes Aoi wonder.
Those are panties, right? Well, those are okay. Those were panties? My eyes. Oh my god. Oh my god. Because I thought, guys, that my brain was just playing tricks on me. I'm not the only one, right? I'm not the only one? Or is that an actual fucking handkerchief? And my brain has just been broken by watching too many ecchi anime. Yo. Oh, it was panties! It was in my mind! Bros!
He therefore asks her if she is not wearing anything down there. Puzzled Aoi asks what he means. Then a gust of air lifts her skirt up, revealing her chiri. She then blushes and tries to explain that she was so nervous that she forgot. Not that she forgot to wear any. She was wearing a pair, but now she lost it after meeting him. As she tries to clarify further, Asahi points something is stuck high in the cherry tree. He explains that it may have been hers as he picked it up after their collision from earlier on their way to school. She then gets super embarrassed and runs away screaming. MC starts to wonder, what was that all about? He then starts walking, thinking about what she just said. He pauses and right then Ilya jumps him from behind, barking like a dog. Asahi takes cover and starts panicking. He realizes that it was a prank and starts scolding Ilya. He immediately apologizes as he did not think it would shock MC so much. They sit on the stairs. MC asks him what he needs from him. Ilya struggles to speak to him, so MC asks if it is hard to talk about it. He affirms, so Asahi stands up and leaves, stating if he doesn't want to tell him, he will not stay. Ilya stands up and states he loves him, which shocks our poor MC again.
I don't like where this is going.
He tries to clarify with Ilya.
It's a trap!
Ilya says that every time he thinks of Asahi, his heart skips a beat. Asahi asks him why he likes him. Ilya replies that he sacrificed himself to save him from the dogs earlier.
That's not a girl.
Is that a trap?
No, it's...
All of a sudden, their new homeroom teacher, Bai Mongfa, rushes in and grabs Asahi away. They rush to an alley and she apologizes to Asahi. A group of men rush towards the alley and find a couple locked in a passionate embrace.
FBI should be knocking this door any minute now.
They move on as they seem to be looking for someone or something. The couple turned out to be Asahi and Bai, with Asahi blocking the view of the men. Bai had buried her head in Asahi's neck to hide her face. Asahi sees that the men have left and informs his teacher. She lets him go and apologizes for the shock he received. Asahi sinks to the ground, revealing several kiss marks all over his neck. He asks who those guys were and she explains they were underlings of someone who likes her, but she didn't like the man as she already rejected him. As she apologizes again, he tells her that giving kiss marks should only be given to someone you love. Bai declares that she loves him. Asahi points out that she is a teacher and he is her student. She replies that she is a woman and he is a man. She seductively asks if he likes her too, giving him a glimpse of her luscious watermelons. Asahi stares at the mounds and hesitates to give a reply. He jumps out of the alley and runs. Asahi starts wondering what is happening as he climbs a walkway. He is spotted by Karen Estelle. She quickly changes into a wedding dress and jumps on Asahi. He avoids her by running away and pretending he doesn't know her. Karen chases after him. Asahi feels that she is up to something shady. She explains that she is the most talked about model and points up toward the billboards. Asahi sees her as an endorser for different products with billboards plastered all over the place. He asks her if her wedding dress is for a photo shoot. She explains that she is on her way to a wedding. He congratulates her and wishes her all the best and leaves. She grabs him, and he realizes that he is the groom. He asks why, and she also declares her love for him. She leads him not to the entrance of a church, but to a love motel. Asahi questions how she skipped a few steps, but says they have to say their vows. He says that any guy would be happy to get a marriage proposal from a popular model. This makes Karen happy, and Asahi caresses her face. He asks her to close her eyes. She is happy that she is tying the knot with Asahi. She tells him how she was waiting for her vows and asks not to be kept in suspense. Asahi, however, had used the opportunity to escape. These crazy events are bothering our MC as he continues to go home. A loli who was asking for signatures approaches him. MC tells her that he is in a hurry, but she stops him and asks him to give her a quick signature. She explains that it will only take a minute and bows at Asahi. He relents and takes the clipboard and starts writing his name. He reads the form and realizes that it is a marriage contract. He immediately throws the paper away.
かすり傷のようだな。ありがとう、お兄ちゃん、お姉ちゃん。ああ、こんな頭のおかしい集団がはびこる街に。待って、どんな字を書くの？書いてみて、お兄ちゃん。あ、俺の名前はね。
The girl reveals herself to be Amelia Irving, another foreign exchange classmate from America. He scolds her and states that she is not even old enough to get married. She reasons that the age will work itself out. He is exasperated with the events and leaves her as a trash-collecting robot approaches her. The robot, programmed to collect unnecessary items, collects her bra as it was holding on to nothing anyway. Asahi finally arrives home. He is surprised to see all 5 girls inside his house waiting for him. He closes the door and starts rubbing, collecting his thoughts. He thought he had the wrong house, but they tell him he is in the right place. He wonders why they are all there. Lovelin, his house robot, tells him he has a message. He reads it out loud. The message is from his dad, explaining that everyone in the house was a potential bride for him. He says that all of them are hot and one is even a boy. He believes that in this day and age, one must not limit based on gender. So starting this day, they will all live in the same house. He can choose one of them or none of them on his desired choice. The only rule was not to have a kid. The girls suddenly start competing for his attention and crowd around him. He shouts for all of them to stop. He tells all of them to leave, as his dad arranged it without him knowing. The girls explain that they have no place to go as they used to live in hotels. Asahi says they can go back to the hotel as the house has no space for 5 extra people. Karen points out that there are 6 rooms on the 2nd floor. This surprised Asahi because there were only 3 rooms. He then realizes the extra corridor on the 2nd floor, which indeed houses the extra 3 rooms. The girls then ask if they can all live there as there is enough space. Asahi tries to find reasons why the girls should not leave with him. Aoi asks if he doesn't like them. All the girls look at Asahi and he is unable to reply. The girls cook dinner together and they eat. Karen tries to feed Asahi, but Amelia and Ilya try to do the same. This angers Asahi again and he tells them he can feed himself. The girls clean up and Aoi serves Asahi tea. She seats next to him and thanks him for not kicking them out. Asahi replies that as long as they don't cause trouble. He glances at Aoi's huge melons. Ilya comes over with dessert and tries feeding Asahi the banana bread. Asahi decides to go have a bath. Karen tries to join him, but he kicks her out. However, as he starts his bath, he finds Amelia snorkeling in the bathtub. He asks her to leave, but she refuses and he ends up leaving. Inside his room, he checks each corner. As he lies down, Bae scares him from the ceiling. He screams. He gathers all the girls and reminds them not to cause any hassle. He again asks them to go out, but since they have no place to go, he decides to leave. Aoi finds him nearby. She explains how she had been wondering what type of person he was, and all of them have been anxious and excited to meet him. This may explain why they all acted that way. She apologizes and asks him to go home. She says that they will leave if he wants them to. She assures him they will be fine. Asahi decides to let them stay, but no more messing around. She promises that they will do their best. He tells her that it's all good. This triggers a memory inside Aoi, and she starts to cry. They head back and find the others all packed. Asahi tells them they can all stay and they start their wacky life together. After a few days, Asahi is awoken by his alarm. He finds that all the locks on his doors have been unlocked and Emilia is hiding under the covers. She uses her big toe to sign the marriage contract. He screams at her. At breakfast, he explains to Aoi that every day there is always an attempt and he cannot take it anymore. Aoi says it just shows how much everyone loves him. Karen goes down and asks where the face towels are, so Aoi points her in the right direction. When she leaves, Asahi asks why Aoi has never invaded his room. Before she answers, Bae comes down looking for her tablet. Aoi gives it to her, explaining she left it on the sofa yesterday. Bae thanked her as Aoi even charged the tablet for her. Emilia comes down with a bath towel and asks where she can find bras, and Aoi also tells her where to get it. Ilya comes down to help Aoi with making breakfast. He can write in kanji Aoi's name with ketchup. Emilia then comes down and tries to write Asahi's name with ketchup, but she ends up getting angry and dumps ketchups all over it. In school, they are going to do kanji writing exercises. Emilia looked kind of sick, so Yoshio asks what was wrong with her. Asahi explained she ate a lot of ketchup with her breakfast. The teacher calls on Karen to write the kanji. She goes to the board and writes kanji beautifully, earning her praise from the teacher and the class. Loli Amelia volunteers to be the next one. Her attempt, however, made her write murky white liquid instead of fresh milk due to her bad kanji. She passes it off as a joke, but the whole class laughs and she gets embarrassed. When the teacher leaves, she tells them that they will have a kanji writing test next week. The class groans about the test. Amelia tries to invite Asahi for lunch but finds him missing from his chair. It turns out he and Yoshio are on the roof eating lunch. Yoshio shares her admiration for Amelia as she is always trying her best. Asahi explains that it is because she doesn't want to lose. He tells him how the other day she lost a game of rock, paper, scissors to a TEV show for 2 straight weeks. She studied all night to devise a way to never lose. She challenges anyone to try her new method, and if they win, she will give them her extra special pudding. However, she ends up losing again and starts crying when they try to eat her pudding. Yoshio notices that Asahi is having more fun than he expected, and he is relieved. However, as Asahi is distracted, Yoshio grabs food from his lunch and eats it. Asahi scolds him for grabbing his food. Yoshio comments that with a selection like his, he could spare some. Asahi explains they are all his favorite foods. Yoshio comments that learning and making your favorite food is a sign of real love. Asahi realizes that he has not talked to Aoi about his favorite food, yet she cooked a selection of it for him. After having dinner, Asahi notices Amelia missing. Ilya tells him that she went to her room immediately after dinner. Asahi climbs up to her room. As he approaches her door, he hears moaning and Amelia saying no, not there. This scandalizes Asahi as he turns red and wonders what she is doing. When he storms into her room, she finds out that she was practicing kanji with a sexual training diary novel. She explains she can study however she likes and that she has to ace the upcoming test. She laments how she is having a hard time mastering the characters that even his idiot friend, Yoshio, could easily do. She needs to be good at the country's language. Asahi decides to tutor her after school the following day. They go to the library to study as Asahi wants to prevent others from getting the wrong idea about them. He gives her a test to measure her current level. She is hesitant at first, but eventually agrees to do it. After the test, she says that it was too easy. MC is shocked at the results as she uses words, which she learned from the novel. They try again with similar results. He wonders why she cannot write simple kanji when she can do all those difficult ones. He then recommends they do special training to help her master kanji. During dinner, Bai brings out pudding for dessert as it's Amelia's favorite. However, she is nowhere to be found. Later, as Asahi leaves the toilet, he notices a light from Amelia's room. He realizes that she is working late again just mastering her kanji. The following day, she continues to work on them even during class hours. In the library, Asahi continues to monitor her kanji work. When he invites her to go home, she tells him how she wants to stay longer, so she asks him to go ahead and leave without her. He asks why she is trying so hard as there are 1 or 2 things one is not good at. He emphasizes that working hard is okay, but she should not go overboard just for the test score. She gets frustrated by this and tells him, trying and getting no results is pointless. Trying and not succeeding is the same as not trying at all. She believes that results are everything. She confesses that she wants to be able to use his language too. After saying that, she cries and runs away. At home, the girls are worried about how Amelia locked herself in her room and did not even bother with dinner. They ask Asahi if he knows anything. He just stands up and says he will check on her. Amelia sits on her bed inside her dark room. Asahi knocks and says he will be coming inside. He turns on the light and put a paper bag on the bed. He sits beside her and tells her how everyone is worried about her. Asahi tries to talk to her about what happened in the library, but she asks him to leave her alone. Asahi gets up to leave, but Amelia starts crying and calls herself an idiot. She knows how he said that was out of concern for her, but her emotions got the best of her, and so she got mad. She confesses that she wants to thank him and be honest with him, but she always acts differently. This makes her an asshole and she hates herself for it. With tears streaming down her cheeks, she asks Asahi if she hates girls like her, self-centered and unable to share their true feelings. Asahi sits back on her bed and tells her he thinks it's fine. He explains that getting emotional means you are a sensitive person. He further states that hating to lose can also be seen as having high standards. Even being stubborn is a sign of a never-say-die attitude. He tells her she appreciates her hard work, and it is not pointless that she tried. He also commends her for trying to learn his language and says it makes him happy. He pats her head and tells her not to hate herself. This triggers a memory inside Amelia which causes her to pause and stop crying. She notes that Asahi telling her that she is interesting is not very flattering to a girl. He should have said he loves her or she is cute, even if it was a lie. He responds that he hates lying. He gives her the paper bag which contains flashcards to help her memorize kanji better. She thanks him. MC notices the girls spying on them from the door. He commands the door to open, which makes all the girls come crashing in. Bai explains they thought Amelia might want some pudding. The next day, Amelia goes around the house labeling items in kanji. They all take the test. Amelia passes the test with a grade of 70. The others are surprised that she is not disappointed with the results. She tells them she is okay because she worked hard. She flips through the flashcards Asahi gave her and says she has someone that appreciates her efforts. At lunch, Yoshio comments on how Amelia has changed. Asahi finds a thank you note in his bento box, which was the lunch Amelia helped Aoi to prepare. His lovely lunch turned out to be omurus, with his name perfectly written in kanji on it.
女の子だって全然気づいてなくて。
そんな謝らないでください。別に気にしてませんから。そうよね。やっぱり延期した方がいいかも。だってこの寒さだしね。スバルがずっと楽しみにしてたの。
At the Fiederfen Inn, Ilya Ilyukina has a flashback of her father telling her that she is not Irina but Ilya. He orders her to live a life as a boy and not a girl as it is her fate. She is saddened by this memory, but a door opens from behind and interrupts her thoughts. Asahi, our MC, had opened the door to the toilet and found Ilya crouching and doing her business. He tells her he is sorry in a nonchalant way as he thinks Ilya is a man. Ilya screams as she realizes what just happened. A few days before, there was a contest at the mall whose first prize was a hot spring vacation for 2. Aoi enters it 3 times so she, Ilya, and Bai can try out for the prize. Ilya tries first and wins the first prize. It turns out all 3 won the first prize, so all of them get to go to the hot spring. As they leave for the vacation, Asahi questions how they could have won it, but they guess it was probably a bug in their system. Karin says she cannot complain about a hot spring vacation. However, she would have preferred it if it were just her and Asahi. She tries jumping on Asahi, but the group leaves and she misses him and almost falls over. They arrive at Fiederfen Inn and Amelia looked very excited about it. She explains that Ren Kiddo's The Proprietress's Secret Hospitality series featured an inn just like it. Bai tells them that inns are more modern inside. Amelia agrees with this observation as she had read about it. They are welcomed to the inn by the proprietress, who turns out to be a very large woman with a male-sounding voice. He asks how he should prepare their rooms. Karin suggests sharing one room, but Asahi interrupts her and tells the proprietress to prepare 2 rooms, one for boys and one for girls. He grabs Ilya and tells everyone they will share a room while the others will share another one. Ilya tries to object, but the proprietress goes and shows them their rooms. The girls complain that it was not fair that Ilya got to the room with Asahi. Ilya tries explaining, but she is ignored. Asahi admires their spacious room. Ilya starts to complain about the living arrangements, but Asahi interrupts him and asks if he prefers to be with the girls. She denies this but tells Asahi that she snores when sleeping and grinds her teeth. Asahi assures him that it is fine and slaps her behind.
そんなこと気にすんなって
Karin comes in and invites them to play. Karin says that they have to play ping pong since they are in a hot spring. A game of doubles table tennis starts with Bai and Amelia serving against Karin and Aoi. Asahi and Ilya are at the scorer's table spectating the game. The girls have fun playing, but Asahi notices the sad look on Ilya's face. He asks what is wrong. Ilya tells him she is okay. The girls play with Karin taunting Bai because of her age. This challenges Bai, and she decides to drive the ball with all her strength to the other side. The ball bounces towards Karin and tears apart her sleeves. The ball continues and hits one of the red masks hanging on the wall. It ricochets and almost hits Aoi before bouncing on the other masks. It keeps bouncing and passing through Karin until it hits MC between his legs. He bends over from the pain while Karin's clothes get ripped to shreds from the multiple passes from the ball. Ilya rushes in to help Asahi, who tells him that his 2 balls have become 3. At night, they eat together at one table. MC feels stuffed with all the food he ate. Amelia asks him if they will get to eat sushi off a naked woman's body, as it is the main staple of hot inns, just like what she read in the book. The proprietress tells them that they cannot over naked sushi but serve a large tango platter. They are given the platter and MC asks if the hot spring has a tango. The proprietress tells them that there is a legend that says one lived around the hot springs long ago. Amelia asks what a tango is. Bai explains that they are legendary creatures in folklore. They say that monks training in the mountains transforms into tangus. Aoi points to a mask on the wall and tells her that it is a depiction of a tango. Amelia realizes that the masks were present all over the inn. The proprietress tells them that many generations ago, her ancestors saw a tango that told them to protect his sacred ground. But no one believes in these stories nowadays, and the legends of tango are being forgotten. MC says he wants to see one, but Karin tells him that they do not really exist. After dinner, MC invites Ilya for a bath. She is hesitant and tries to think of ways to get out of the situation. She gets slapped on her butt by Asahi. She tells him to stop doing that and turns to him, seeing him naked. She tells him to cover up a little, but MC tells her that since they are both guys, it should be okay. MC leaves her and she continues to contemplate how to fool him. She looks around for anything to help her. She stops and sees the Tenga mask with its long nose. MC calls on Ilya to go out. She does so with a towel covering her front. MC gets shocked when he sees what he assumes is his eggplant. He gets dumbstruck by the sheer size of it. Ilya asks what is wrong and MC recovers and says that she has a fine specimen. He wonders why she still covered her front. Ilya reasons that she is quite hairy in the front. Ilya walks past MC and he cannot help but admire the sheer size and stiffness of what he thought was Ilya's eggplant. Ilya says she is embarrassed by his stares, so he invites Ilya to scrub each other back. She hesitates, but he tells her it is normal in Japan. He stands up but then covers himself up, feeling insecure about the size of his eggplant. He rubs her back and says that she is not that hairy. Fearing that MC is getting suspicious, she stands up and tells him it is his turn to wash his back. MC starts objecting but stops when the massive eggplant hovers in front of his face. She tries scrubbing his back harder to prove she is a guy, but MC complains that her eggplant keeps hitting his back. Panicking at what to say, she invites him to try the sauna. At the girls' side, Aoi and Bai are relaxing, while Karen tries spying on MC and Ilya. Amelia joins in, but they do not hear anything. In the sauna, Ilya is feeling hot but does not want to go out as she fears MC suspects that she is not a man. She endures the heat until she becomes hotter than the sauna. MC sees this and thinks that Ilya is a man's man. He stands in front of her and declares Ilya a man among men. MC rushes out and takes a dip in the pool to cool himself. Ilya congratulates herself for being able to fool him. She takes a stroll and stretches her arms. Her towel falls and a strong gust of wind carries the towel to the top of some rocks beside the pool. She tries reaching for it but sees MC heading toward her. On the other side, Amelia and Karin are trying to peek from above the wall. Thinking fast, Ilya puts on the mask that she used to simulate an eggplant as Amelia and Karin take a peek over the wall. MC steps out of the bathhouse and into the open air and sees Ilya dressed as a tangyo and saying the exact phrase the proprietress had told them. "Protect my sacred ground." Amelia and Karin spot this and scream in fright, causing them to tumble back to their side of the wall. MC panics and starts hitting things while searching for Ilya. In the confusion, Ilya grabs her town and runs past MC. He sees her and tells her about the Tenga sighting. She sighs in relief that he did not suspect anything. She turns and steps on a soap bar and slips. The towel and the Tenga masks come flying in the air as Ilya falls down, knocking herself out. The next day, she awakens and mistakes MC for her father. She realizes what has happened and blushes, but MC apologizes for not realizing she was a girl. She says it was okay since she was the one who pretended to be a guy. She informs him that it was her father's dying wish. Since he wanted a boy, he made Ilya live as a boy instead of a girl. When he died, her mother had told her not to be bound by her father's words anymore, but she felt obligated to follow him. MC asks what she wants to be. Ilya cries and says she wants to live as a girl like the others. MC comforts her and tells her that her father will understand. This triggers a memory within her. She thanks MC as he leaves. The next day as they leave, Amelia and Karin both insist on the appearance of the tango and describe it as a naked woman in the men's bath. MC looks back at Ilya and realizes what has happened and laughs very hard. After a few days, they are back in school. Irina has fully embraced being a girl. As MC goes to class, Bae calls him to fix his tie and reminds him to look presentable. He thanks her as Yoshio sees them. He comments to MC that he is a very lucky guy. MC asks if Yoshio is interested in Bae. Yoshio tells him that he is, and he is enamored by the idea of an older woman like her showing him the ropes. He adds that maybe after she can have him by the ropes. He also points out that it is not just him who has a crush on Bae, but a lot of the guys. Amelia interrupts them and says that boys are such simple creatures. Karin also points out why would they want to have Bae when they can have a young model like her. Aoi sees that a lot of girls also admire Bae. Back at their house, Bae relaxes by having some drinks. Amelia wants to have a taste of alcohol as she is curious about it. Aoi tells her she can't have any and also reprimands Bae for drinking too much. Being totally wasted, Bae hugs Aoi to tell her she loves her. This causes one of her melons to pop out, which Irina points out. Bae tells Asahi to fix it. This shocks him and he spits his drink back into his cup. He tells her to fix it herself. She tries jumping on MC, but Amelia holds her back. She turns to her and hugs her. Bae then hugs Irina, Aoi, and Amelia. She declares her love for all of them. She falls back on the couch and falls asleep. Asahi covers her with a blanket and heads back to his room. He stops and sees someone hiding under the covers. He takes it off thinking it was Amelia, but gets shocked to see Colonel Sanders underneath. He jumps up and tells him to come with him. MC tries objecting but gets knocked out. He wakes up inside an unfamiliar room. A screen opens with Colonel Sanders explaining that he is being used as bait for someone. Asahi realizes that he has a ball gag on him and he is naked and hog-tied on a spinning circular bed. Sanders is interrupted by an explosion and a loud intruder alarm. He commands all hands to go to the site of the explosion. MC struggles as he is left alone in the room. Bae arrives and blushes as she sees the MC's state.
だって朝日くんなんだかとっても可愛くてつい。
Outside, MC sees a guard lying on the ground and asks Bai about it. She tells him that the guard was already like that when she got there. They turn a corner, and another guard sees them and attacks them. Bai screams and ducks the guard's punch while delivering a counterpunch to his belly. MC uses the vibrator to hit the guard's head and knocks him down. Bai thanks him for saving her. Another guard attacks and Bai uses a whip to trip him up, and MC uses the vibrator on him as well. They'd run towards the elevator, but it is not working. Bai suggests checking the control room and using a special lens inside her eyes to locate the control room. MC is surprised when she learns that the room is below them. They try the stairs, but it was locked, so they use a window and rappel down. They break through the window by swinging through it. In the control room, Bai starts reprogramming the computer, telling MC she knows how since she is a teacher. The power is restored, but a hidden floor opens, revealing Colonel Sanders. He declares that he has been waiting for the bloody tiger. MC asks who the bloody tiger is, and Sanders explains how the fear of bloody tiger is now reduced to a laughingstock. Sanders attacks MC and Bai blocks his punch and knocks him back. Sanders explains that there was an agent who struck terror in the hearts of the criminal underground. This agent destroyed a lot of organizations, leaving a river of blood in her wake. The code name of the woman was Bloody Tiger, and he points to Bai as the woman. He continues that Bai had wiped out his team, the West Coast Lightning, a few years ago. He survived and now wants revenge. This shocks MC, but Sanders suddenly attacks them. Bai tries landing a kick, but he catches her leg and throws her to the wall. The fallen Bai encourages MC to run. Sanders taunts Bai and questions her skills. He attacks and Bai dodges. Seeing that she is not fighting as much, he decides to attack MC. Bai moves to attack him, but he blocks her and throws her off again. She recovers and hits his face, but Sanders catches her leg and flips her upside down. He is disappointed as he feels the bloody tiger is now just a kitten. Bai tells MC to turn the switch on. Sanders wonders what this was for, and MC switches it on. Suddenly, the bed turns and threads that bound Sanders invisibly become visible. Bai kicks herself free and Sanders becomes wide-eyed at the development. Bai explains that the threads are made up of special alloy and are unbreakable. Bai and MC rush out while Sanders struggles with the string slowly tightening around him. His screams are heard as MC and Bai escape. They reach the elevator and Bai notices blood dripping from MC's arms. She rips a part of her dress and uses it as a bandage. She apologizes for what has happened and explains that she was raised to be an assassin, but one day started questioning her actions. She has been destroying everything and was leaving a cycle of violence. She left her organization and became a teacher to help build the future. She has found her new life more rewarding. It was her first experience of being loved. With MC and the gang, she learned to live a better life, but now it has ended. The elevator opens and she presses on her dress to let it morph into a new outfit fit for fighting. She promises to keep MC safe. At the lobby, armed guards take positions awaiting their arrival. The elevator opens and Bai jumps out. Guards try shooting her down, but she is too fast, and she starts taking them down one at a time. She instructs MC to use the emergency exit and leave. MC asks if she is coming, but she looks down at her bloody hands and tells him to go. MC doesn't want to leave her, so she starts shooting at him to make him go. MC reluctantly leaves her and starts running. He remembers all the times he spent with Bai and hears a loud gunshot. Bai walks out of the building and starts crying. She hears glass breaking and almost is unable to dodge. She is surprised to see him alive. She realizes that Sanders has a body of steel. She tries shooting him, but the bullets just bounce off. Sanders uses his robotic arm to choke her and pin her against the wall. He relishes the thought of how he will take his revenge on her, as she still is a bone-shakingly fine woman. A fire extinguisher flies and hits Sanders' arm, releasing Bai. Meg had thrown the canister to save Bai from Sanders. He attacks Sanders with a stun stick, but is knocked down. MC stands and tells him he has to protect his teacher, who is a precious member of their family. This statement triggers a memory in Bai, causing her to pause. She recovers as Sanders moves in on MC. She tells him to run as Sanders grabs his robe. MC slips out of the robe and throws a balloon at Sanders. The balloon pops and Sanders gets covered in lotion. MC uses the stun stick on Sanders, causing a short circuit. Sanders tries powering through it, but Bai punches him and knocks him out. MC cannot believe that they won. Bai asks how he is and why he came back. MC tells her that he is fine but a bit sticky from the lotion. MC tells her that he could not go home without her. He tells her that her past does not matter. Being their teacher, she is a part of their family. This touches Bai and she hugs a naked MC, burying his head between her melons. As the sun rises, MC extends his hand to Bai to invite her home. Back at their house, Karin sneaks in after spending the night out. She screams as she enters the living room, waking up the rest of the girls. They find MC and Bai both asleep with MC's head buried between Bai's big melons. After a few days, MC goes to the convenience store. As it is nighttime, very few people are about. He sees a magazine featuring Karin, but he buys the magazine featuring news of a magic girl being spotted regularly. He buys some groceries and leaves. A strange spherical object spies on him as he reads news on weird cattle castrations happening. The object spies his precious eggplant and eggs and reveals itself to be a robot. It starts spinning its robotic arm and seemed to be staring up an attack when a bolt of lightning slices through it and destroys it completely. MC spots a magic girl on top of an antenna with the bright full moon behind her. He tries telling his friend about it, but he does not believe him. Karin suddenly comes in and asks MC to do it with her. This shocks enough MC to spit out his drink. As they talk about it, a mysterious flying object appears and all of them wonder what is it. News broadcast starts reporting about strange object appearing all over the world. Bai comes in and tells all of them to stay away from the windows. A robot appears and shoots at them. Bai saves MC, but the blasts hit Yoshio. A pink strap-on appears on him and explodes, seemingly castrating him. The students rush him to the infirmary while Ilya realizes Karin has disappeared. She is on the rooftop observing the huge object with the number 4 appearing on top of it. She transforms into the magical girl with MC witnessing it. A flying rabbit appears and tells MC that everything will be explained later. Karin asks MC to touch her melons, but he hesitates. The rabbit pushes him and he ends up flying toward Karin. Both his hands land on Karin's mounds and this charges her power up. Having charged up, she flies towards the huge object and attacks it. However, her attacks are ineffective and her energy level drops. She rushes back towards the rooftop as she loses her powers. MC catches her and is able to bring her to safety. She explains that she became a magic girl during one of her photo shoots when catches the flying rabbit. They make a pact and she became a magical girl. At first, she thought it was fun, but she kept being called up in the middle of the night. The flying rabbit introduces itself as Sakami Okamoto Deluxe or Sod. He is a sprite from Contras Implementation, which is another world. MC notes that his name is a brand of condoms. Sobe explains that the ball takers are monsters from his world and use the golden bombers to castrate males which happen to his world. If the number on top of the monster reaches 69, all the bombs will go off and all males will lose their ability to reproduce. The only way to stop them is for Karin to charge up with TDL power. Before he can explain what he means, an alarm goes off with a broadcast stating how the government's efforts to destroy the ball takers have failed. Sode tells Karin to bring MC to the MM. The whole school is evacuated and all students are sent home. The MM turns out to be a magical matching unit. The bus seems familiar to MC. Sode explains that the MN unit will help charge TDL power more efficiently. TDL is an abbreviation for Tokameki Dokidiki Lover Power, which means that it relies on the heart beating fast because of the one you love. Inside there is a meter that MC observes to help measure the TDL. Karin starts undressing in front of MC. He panics as she suggests that they do it. She says it is the fastest way to build up TDL. MC asks how she charges her power before. She confesses to spying on MC as he bathes and smells his clothing. MC thinks of a better method. MC cabadones her on the bus's walls. He touches her chin and then stops. He tells her that she does not love him as much as her heart has not raced as much. He points to the meter which has not gone up. Karin asks if having pleasure and love are the same things. She starts taking off her clothes as she desperately wants to use pleasure to charge up her powers. She starts undressing MC. Outside, Aoi and the others try to see into the MN unit. MC tries calling for help, but Karin stops him. She successfully undresses MC. MC objects to this and hits her head. Sode appears as MC scolds Karin. Sode thinks MC may be the legendary old man who starts giving a lecture after he's done getting busy. But MC tries to convince Karin that having pleasure for the first time is special, and she must save herself for someone special. This statement raises the power meter a few bars. MC starts telling Sode for forcing Karin to have fun to charge up. His concern is noticed by Karin and the power bar again charges up. Mini BT starts attacking the MN unit. MC stands up and plans to run out to make a distraction. He tells Karin to take Sode away from there. He rushes out and Karin starts feeling warm inside. This fully charges the power meter and she starts transforming. Her transformation hits and destroys two mini BT as they were about to attack MC. She becomes the legendary miraculous magical girl. With her powers, she fights off the mini BT with ease. She faces off with the BT and fires a magical beam toward it. The monster counters it with a beam on its own. Karin feels she is not strong enough, but MC holds her staff with her. This gives her enough confidence and power to blast the monster out of the sky. This destroys all of the other BTs and restores every male's precious jewels back to where they belong. MC congratulates Karin on her victory. This triggers a memory inside Karin, and she is stunned. She starts blushing and moves away. A feather lands on her head and MC makes a move to remove it. She slaps his hands away and tells him she can take care of it herself. She does not want MC to get any closer. MC is puzzled by the sudden change in her behavior. She blushes and runs away from him. In a meeting room filled with rabbit-like beings, they talk about the fascinating results they have and ask Ms. Yoshino what she thinks. She smiles.
Amelia!
またそうやって自分ばっかり。朝日くん、やっと会えました。
カリン、モンファ、イリーナも。いや、さすがにこの部屋にこの人数は無理だって。
Our story continues on a beach with MC walking with a blue-haired girl. Don't worry, she is not one of the five. We'll get to meet her later. They admire the ocean and do some idle chatter about the stars, how her father is always busy at work, and how MC is a little bit afraid that the class might find out they hang out together. She teases him and gets him to admit he likes hanging out with her. She blushes and tells him she wants the moment to last forever, and she also wants to be with him forever. MC almost agrees, but he hesitates and changes the topic. This is a rapid change of pace for our story. The next day, MC's alarm clock tries to wake him up, threatening to charge a snooze fee. Irina tries waking her up, but Amelia has a faster way to wake him up. She jumps in the air to try splashing down on MC. MC rolls out of the way and Amelia lands on the bed. Irina reminds him to get ready as they are about to leave and everyone is already downstairs. He remembers that they are going to the private beach owned by Yoshio's family. This is made clear that Yoshio is rich and he emphasizes this point before they leave. However, nobody listens to his tirade as all of the girls are excited about seeing the ocean. Irina is exceptionally excited as it is the first time for her to see the sea. Lol. Had to try if the AI could read that one right. Manhwa, on the other hand, had several infiltration missions done by sea. Well, that conjures up a different image in my mind. Irina asks if the sea is really salty. Karin tells her it is, and there are a lot of horrible monsters ready to pull her in. Amelia also joins in and tells her these monsters to have tentacles and do unspeakable things to girls they capture. This makes Irina scared, but MC tells her they are both lying. Amelia once again refers to books made by Kid that describe tentacled monsters doing all sorts of naughty stuff to girls. Yoshio gets irritated for being ignored. He scolds them for ignoring him. He tells them he will get the last laugh when they reach the beach. He flags down their ride, but is hit by the speeding car. He gets left behind as the group continues to the beach. What great friends these dudes are, leaving their injured friend who happens to own the place they are going to. They are amazed by the luxurious villa. Irina asks MC if Yoshio is really rich. MC thinks about it and realizes that he actually does not know him that well. Manhwa wonders if it was okay to leave Yoshio behind, but Karin reminds her that the driver had told them it was okay. That driver is definitely going to get fired. They head to the beach and Irina is scared, but MC points out how the others were having fun already. Irina agrees and mutters how MC always gives her the push she needs. If she is wearing that outfit, I'm pretty sure any guy will be willing to give her a push. She joins the others while Manhwa tries flirting with MC. Amelia hits MC with a water gun and reminds him of no flirting. Karin also hits Manhwa and she retaliates by knocking her with a water ball. They continue having fun on the beach. Karin teases Manhwa and she chases after her. Karin finds a curious sign on the beach. She calls the others and they all realize the beach was the exclusive use of Yoshio's family and it was a nudist beach. Amelia realizes that Yoshio had planned it all along. I guess karma hit Yoshio fast and was unable to see his schemes to fruition. They decide to go bare, however, they are subject to MC to a bondage mask. I mean, who goes to a beach with a bondage mask unless you really have plans for some BDSM action? They all note that he looks like a pervert, but still decide to play Blindman's buff. Making MC look for them in his headgear and chasing them naked really looks like a pre-planned adventure. He chases after Irina and almost catches her. She is able to fend him off by hitting his banana. They continue to torture MC, lining him up for Manhwa to hit with a stick. She strikes at him but misses him by a hair. The force tears off his mask. They tied him up, gag and blindfold him while they play volleyball. Really looking like a BDSM party here. At sunset, they all head back talking about how Yoshio tried to outsmart them. MC reminds them that he was the victim of all their actions. Amelia reminds MC that it was a fun day. Even Irina says they made memories all of them will always remember. They all look at the sunset hoping that they could stay together like this forever. Oh, so much foreshadowing in this story. MC agrees and walks on. He turns and sees everyone gone, from funny BDSM to mysteriously creepy in just 5 seconds. Mate tries calling out to them, but they simply vanished. He heads back to the villa and only finds Aoi. He tries to tell her everyone had vanished, but she just looks at him and asks what he is talking about. He looks down at her feet and suddenly forgets whom he was referring to. Aoi enters to cook him dinner and they go about preparing dinner. When Yoshio calls MC while he was away, Aoi drops the call. Now the mystery deepens. MC lights up the barbecue as Aoi had difficulty starting the fire. She just starts cutting the meat with blood spilling out of it. Now it's definitely turning into something creepy. Yoshio calls again and Aoi slices the phone and throws it in the trash. They eat dinner and eat too much. MC starts recalling the other girls, but Aoi asks him to walk with him. She takes him to a cherry blossom tree that has a strange pink glow to it. She confesses her love to him. MC asks her where the others are. He realizes he can barely remember them. She asks who she really is and what the place she brought him is. She asks him to stay with her forever, and she is willing to do anything to make him happy. Alright, this has stalker written all over it. She tries to kiss him, but he remembers all the other girls with them. Aoi pulls away and a blue-hair girl appears pointing at the stars. He calls her Ai. She tells him they cannot be together. Suddenly, MC is surrounded by error messages and A disappears. MC wakes up in his room with Lovelane, his alarm telling him the time. He rushes out as he is late. He notices that all the girls are gone, so he rushes to school. In the classroom, he finds someone seating on his chair. No one is familiar, and no one even knows him. He rushes out and bumps into 2 girls. As he leaves, the 2 girls recognize him as the student who has been absent for a long time. MC runs and starts wondering where everyone is. He goes to the cherry blossom tree only to find it not blooming. A lady in a white coat starts examining him. He asks who she is, and she places a tablet in front of her face, and it shows Yoshio's face. She brings him to a laboratory as she feels his memories are in disarray. She examines him and finds nothing wrong with him. She introduces herself as Yoshino Feynman and tries to explain to him what has happened. It seems that MC had signed up for an anidaily test, which was a virtual reality simulation. It turns out his adventures with the girls for the past months were inside a VR world. All the girls were artificial intelligence or AIs. MC laughs thinking she was joking, but she explains all the latest technology they had used to make him all of his experiences were real. All those experiences happened in a span of one day in real life. She explains how AI they were developing was artificial omniscient intelligence or AOI. That's where her name came from. They had used him as a test subject to help the AI experience emotion. To create the perfect AI that he would have to interact with, teams of researchers from all over the world developed their own AI. These were the girls he lived with. That was why their first meeting was so strange with all five, declaring their love for MC. After spending time with him, all the AI showed tremendous results. It was until the moment they went to the beach when all the access they had was suddenly cut off. It was then when he woke up in the real world. MC gets angry as he could not handle the truth. Yubukata walks in and is surprised to see Yoshino and MC. She tries to warn her about the chief finding out she was there, but of course when you speak of the devil he appears. So the chief walks in and fires her. Yubukata tries to reason with him, but he threatens her as well. She escorts MC and Yoshino out of the building. Yoshino posits that MC may be the key to understanding why they got locked out of the system. She thinks MC being chosen as the test subject may not have been random at all. Yoshino takes MC to a park. She explains to him about deep learning and how copying the human mind was a faster way to create AIs. A researcher claimed to have developed a whole brain simulation system on his own. He was able to produce an AI with an artificial consciousness. This AI evolved rapidly and because used all over the world. If this sounds like ChatGPT, then you are not alone in thinking that. Most of the technology developed in their world was based on the AI the researcher had made. The name of the AI was I. MC learns from Yoshino that his childhood friend I was the daughter of that researcher. The doctor had suddenly left the laboratory where he worked and started to work on his own. He was able to complete the mind-uploading technology and gave the world an AI with consciousness. MC realizes that A's sickness was the cause of the doctor leaving his work. The doctor had used his own daughter, his friend, as the template of the AI with consciousness. MC visits A's grave and breaks down crying. A global outage has caused traffic jams and most communications to stop working. This was the news MC woke up to. He eats with his mother while news of the outage was broadcasted. At the Cavendish Company, they are all stressed as they had lost control of their satellite. Muse V. Yuhutaka tries to point out some weird signals they had received in regular intervals, but is dismissed by the chief. She goes and tells Yoshino about it. She decoded the signal, and it was a message. Yoshino goes to MC and asks him if he would like to go back into the virtual world. MC objects to it as the emotional pain he had experienced after leaving the VR world. Yoshino points out that all the girls who were patterned after I and Aoi were the most similar to A than the other girls. She theorizes MC's interaction with the A's had triggered A's consciousness and had caused Aoi to go berserk. She had infected most of the networks all over the world after taking control of Muse V. Although everything seems normal, the networks are unstable. Muse V is still refusing communication and she believes only MC can access it. The decoded message that was sent was, "I want to see you." She begs him to do it. Loverin goes crazy and suddenly projects the other girls through its eyes. They were happy to see MC again as they hid when Amelia detected an anomaly with Aoi. They ask MC to help Aoi as she is also struggling and suffering. Karin points out that Aoi should not have bottled her feelings up and talked to them as friends. Irina realizes as friends they too should have noted Aoi's feelings. This gets Yoshino thinking Aoi's frenzy may have started before A's consciousness emerged. She wonders what could have triggered it. The girls continue to persuade MC to help Aoi. Yukata calls Yoshino to inform her that the company had decided to use that program, which shocks Yoshino. She also notes that a new rampage is about to start and all communications will be lost. The girls appeal to MC one last time before the communication is cut. Yoshino asks MC to come with her as all the girls will be deleted as Muse V has a backdoor. The company had decided to use an eraser program to wipe all the data, including Aoi and the girls, without network connections. The world will be in chaos. Yoshino leaves as MC seemingly was not interested in saving Aoi. He recalls a conversation with Ai when they were younger. She had told him she would like to meet her mother who had died, as she would like to meet her again if given the chance. This inspires MC to go with Yoshino. They go through the chaos in the city on her motorbike. As Yoshino is barred from the company, they go to a place with a machine powerful enough to run the VR equipment. She used the word flops, which means computing power in tech speak. Now you know why the title was Love Flops. Didn't expect that, right? They reach the villa of A's father, which also doubles as his laboratory. MC asks why Yoshino had continued with the experiment when her chief ordered her to stop. She recalls how Aoi, through a hologram, had asked her to experience falling in love. This she realized was the cause of the rampage. I also realized that it was her that caused all these problems. She boots up the machine and starts the VR pod. She warns MC of all the dangers he may face inside the world. MC enters the VR and sees Loverin, but it was Yoshino trying to help him out. A locked wall stops them from entering, but digital butterflies guide them to an opening. All the girls are happy to see MC but Yoshino, as Sod reminds them they have no time. But she still takes the time to explain her theory to the girls. As they have memories of Ai in them, they feel that Aoi wants to see MC, but Ai does not. These conflicting feelings are causing the errors the real world is having. In order to save Aoi, they have to face the logout programs and the eraser program in the system. Welcome to the Matrix, everyone. Amelia analyzes the situation and finds Aoi at the center of their world, protected by a barrier. She plans to use a secret path to get to her. Manhwa warns of the dangers they have to face. This is another foreshadowing if I ever saw one. They open the door and step into, well, for a lack of a better description, the Matrix. They get transported into the BDSM room where Manhwa rescued MC. They run through the halls with Amelia leading them. They encounter statues of the guards. Yoshino Sod shakes its booty at one and is grabbed by it as all the statues start to animate. Reminds me of Mr. Smith taking over a body in the Matrix. She is able to slip out as she was wearing rubber. Not the rubber you are thinking of, but radiant ultra beams blast evil rogues. That was a mouthful even for an eye like me. The girls change into their battle suits and start battling the goons. One of them explodes and MC jumps to save Sod. They break through the window and land in a big hall. As they try to figure out where they are, MC asks if the girls were all programmed to meet him from the start and to have feelings for him. Yoshino explains that at the start they were like that, but as they spent time with him, their reading indicated how they truly felt about him. She assures him these emotions that the AI's experience were something new and still needed analysis. Manhwa overhears them. They hear Irina scream as she sees an eraser program deleting, changing even the goons into more savage ones that would delete instead of log out their avatars. Well, it's like Mr. Smith taking over the other agents in the Matrix. Sod gets deleted and Karen also almost gets caught, but MC saves her and they all make a run for it while battling the goon squad. They read a switch locking a door, but Colonel Sanders comes in. Manhwa takes care of him easily. They try to open the switch, but the goons and the eraser program get in. Manhwa helps MC and they are able to open the door. The erase program converts even Colonel Sander and they start erasing the room. As the control panel is only on one side, they could not close it. MC tells everyone to go through, but as he grabs Manhwa, she holds her ground. She tells him that she did not understand being in love at first, but that day when he protected her, she recalled a childhood memory of MC defending Ai. She knew she was an artificial being from that point, but felt a warm sensation in her heart. This was being in love, and she knew that was not artificial. She touches MC's cheek and thanks him for protecting her. She kisses him on the lips and pushes him into the door. MC grabs her ribbon as he falls. He flashes back to a memory of him defending Ai against bullies and sees Ai in Manhwa. The door closes and Manhwa destroys the panel. She fights the goons until she gets exhausted. Her ribbon disappears from MC's hand and he cries. In the real world, Yoshino tries to log back in the VR world but fails. Yubukata arrives in the lab to help her. They witness as Manhwa gets deleted. She asks Yubukata for help and she gladly agrees. Back in the VR world, the girls cry at the loss, but MC reminds them to move forward. They go to the next room, which turns out to be the school. This time, a ball-buster robot attacks them and injures MC. They patch up MC while Amelia rescans for a path for them. As they wait for Amelia, they ask MC what school is really like. He admits to not going to school since I died. Being with them in the VR world helped him have a good time again in school. They find the path, but it turns out to be climbing up several flights of stairs. They'd reach a dead end, but butterflies lead them to a secret path. They get outside, but are faced with a lot of robots. Guarding the control panel, Karin and Irina decide to create a distraction to allow them to reach the switch. The duo starts eliminating the robots, giving MC and Amelia the chance to go through. Karin and Irina close the door and destroy the panel. MC and Amelia go through the library to a secret panel and take an elevator. Here, Amelia shares how she remembers MC helping her out when she cried after returning a dog to its real owner. This was the moment she realized what love was. Outside, Irina and Karin also share with each other how they realized they fell in love with MC. Both memories were of Ai when she was younger with MC. They laugh at the memories as the robots surround them. They both stand and send a message to Amelia to give to MC as the robots overwhelm them. Okay, that scene got me teary-eyed. Going out in a sort of blaze of glory thing. That was close enough. Amelia gives back the flashcards MC made for her as a talisman for him. She thanks him for all the emotions she had experienced. She plays the last message by Irina and Karin before they perished. This makes MC cry. She continues to encourage him and gives him a kiss. She unlocks the floor to bring MC to Aoi. MC lands on the edge of a forest and cries as the flashcards disappear in his hands. He meets Aoi. She apologizes to MC. She tells MC that Ai is inside her. She brings MC closer to her chest, and he is transported to Ai's memories. Here we are finally able to get to know MC's past. Ai was his childhood friend. He bought her the stars and moon necklace she had wanted as an early Christmas present. She puts it on but suddenly feels faint and falls on MC. She also faints in front of her father, which makes them consult a doctor. They find out she only has until spring as there was no cure for her. She kept her sickness a secret from MC, who visits her in the hospital. She asks MC to watch the cherry blossoms with her in spring. They pinky promise each other. They spend her remaining days together. Ai takes extra steps like putting on makeup to help hide her failing health from MC. She asks MC not to visit her as he is about to have his exams. She cries when he leaves. As she lies dying on the hospital bed, she watches a video she made of MC in front of the cherry blossom tree. She messages MC to watch the cherry blossom together as she dies. MC witnesses all this with Aoi, and she apologizes for dragging MC into their problems. But MC thanks her and goes towards the door. Aoi tells him that he changed her world and felt exceeding joy and happiness with him. He bids her farewell and steps into another door. He climbs the steps up to a cherry blossom tree and finds Ai. They share a moment, and Ai asks MC for a favor. She asks him to forget about her so he can be happy. MC shares with her the learnings he had with her through the memories the other girls had brought up. It turns out the solution was not to forget, but to remember and cherish the moments they had. As he tried to forget her in the VR world, he admits he knew about how sick she was and just tried to play along with her as these brought sadness. But they should have spent more time together and not run away from the sadness. He tells Ai he loves her and will not forget her. He should have said it earlier and spend more time with her. Ai cries at the revelations and also shares all the plans she wanted to do with him. She admits she loves him too. This breaks the darkness and brings light all around. They kiss and everything starts going back to normal. She thanks him and gives him the necklace he gave him before disappearing. They say goodbye to each other. MC brings the necklace to Aoi and they hold hands like Mr. Smith and Neo combining together. A bright light covers everything and MC wakes in the real world. Yoshino congratulates him for his work. They all witness Muse V burning in the atmosphere. MC returns to school and makes new friends. Aoi is launched as the new Ai. Yoshino becomes the new chief but uses a vibrator to massage her shoulders. MC brings flowers to Ai's grave and assures her he is okay. He arrives home and 4 boxes open up with the girls jumping out of them. They are all reunited as Aoi and Ai had helped restore them. Aoi also walks to MC's house as she had wanted to use her own feet to get there. MC sits with all the girls in the living room while Aoi rings MC's doorbell.